So, Dondi, we ask every expert to share a 3 feet from gold story. A story about a time in your life when, you felt like you were up against these seemingly insurmountable obstacles. And whether it be through maybe family, friends, a good book, faith, a mentor, you dug down, you found what you needed, and you broke through into your greatness.
I love that. I love what you call it, the 3 feet from gold. I don't think I ever thought about myself being in that moment 3 feet from gold. But it was many years ago. I was trying doing a leadership tour through the South. And I know that sounds, people think that sounds very glamorous, but really that's you fly into a big city, you speak, you drive, you speak, you drive, you speak, and then you ultimately end up in the next big city and you finally come home. And in my industry, on the speaking circuit, you're really on the run. They call that being on the run. And sometimes it's not a respectful term, but the speakers bureaus or the agents will refer to as the horse, right? A horse on the run. Well, I was, I think, 3 days into my run, and I was leaving my hotel room for to get a cup of coffee or dinner or something. I don't even remember. But I was almost murdered in the hallway of that hotel. I was beaten almost to death. And it was just this transformative sort of there's a little piece of me that for a long time didn't get up off that hotel hallway floor. I would have probably not survived had not two gentlemen come from their rooms. They heard all the commotion and they stopped it. But here's what I learned from that experience. Of course, all of the things that you mentioned, mentoring, books that you've read, my faith, my family, every single piece of that came into play. I went from being ridiculous about my safety, truly, just a cavalier about it. It didn't ever dawn on me that someone could ever hurt me. It just didn't even cross my mind. I went from that attitude to being terrified to walk out my front door. I didn't feel safe anywhere. Everybody looked like a killer. Everything felt unsafe. And it took me about 6 months to get back out and go on the road. And I remember the first time I spoke, I still had black eyes. I mean, it just took forever for those black eyes to go away. But what I realized through that time was some of the messages, the books I had been reading, the faith messages that I had been hearing my whole life. They started to bubble to the top. And I think if you would have handed me a book on confidence or faith at that time, I might have hit you right over the head with it, right? But because it was already in there, it was part of me. And so I think what the big lesson for me, and the lesson I try to share in my 3 feet from gold, is that you truly are 3 feet away from one good decision. You are one choice away from turning the corner. And even if it seems like a small one, and my small decisions sometimes, Dan, get up, get out of bed, get dressed, get outside, right? Those were huge monumental steps for me at the very beginning. But I also put it this way. You've got to dig that well before you're thirsty, right? So if you wait until you're in adversity to prepare yourself for adversity, it's too late, baby. You've got to prepare for that now. I believe in my life adversity is coming always, not afraid of it, but I want to be prepared for it. I want to be strategic and be thinking, what are the tools that I'm going to need? What are the beliefs, the attitudes? What is the knowledge? Who are the people that I need to surround myself with so that no matter what happens, I can face that head on?